Hari Om and welcome to all the divine Atmajyotis to today's Bhagavadgita satsang. Let us continue our contemplation of the fifth chapter shlokas. So today the focus is on 5.23 to 5.25. So in 5.23, Sri Krishna is essentially saying those who are giving up the body, before giving up the body, they have to check the forces of desire and anger, and only then they are happy. That is the first. Again, if you think about it, it is like a condition. Only when forces of desire and anger are given up, are checked, then only, and then giving up the body, they alone are happy. That is the what the indication by Sri Krishna is, like a condition. Then here Sri Krishna is saying those who are happy within themselves, enjoying the delight of God within, and are illumined by inner light. So those who are happy. So in the previous shloka, he gave the condition of when one can be truly happy. Here, those who are happy, then how do they connect with the God within, and how they are illumined, and how they will be liberated from material existence. Here, again, conditions have been given by Sri Krishna. Those whose sins have been purged, doubts are annihilated, minds are disciplined, who are devoted to welfare of all, only they attain the God and liberated from material existence. So these are the messages Sri Krishna has given. Based on that, we have framed these questions. Let us now begin our contemplation. Would Padmaji like to begin today's contemplation?
Yes, and take up the first two questions, sir. Yeah. So, should all desires be given up? Is it okay to have desire for liberation? And the other question is why only desire and anger? So, I will take the second part of the first question first. Is it okay to have desire for liberation? Yes, it is okay to have desire for liberation because for me personally, that is when the seeking itself into the spiritual journey begins. The spiritual journey starts only after the desire for liberation arises. So it is okay to have the desire. Should all desires be given up? No, all desires need not be given up because that is the source for any action to be performed, right? By source, I mean desires are nothing but, again, they are just thoughts, and thoughts are what are leading to action. Because we have a desire to get a mango, we plant a seed because we have a desire to say earn money or get a house, we start to earn money. So for any action to be performed, there has to be a desire. So all desires are not need not be given up. Without desire there cannot be any action. And why only he is referring to desire and anger? I think he is here, he's not referring to the term desire and anger per se, but he is talking about the attachment to that which is causing the anger, and hence he is correlating it with the desire. So if I have a desire for something, and because of that desire there is an action being performed, and because of that action there is bound to be a result, and if the result is not conducive, then this raga dvesha anger is what comes up because of that. Oh, I did not get this, why I did not get this, and that anger leads to further desires which may not be the correct one. That is what he is referring to here, I feel, sir. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to continue? What does it mean to give up the body?
um Yeah, okay. Can you go back to that shloka for that, please?
Sure.
Hmm. So here, uh, he's saying those persons are yogis who, before giving up the body, are able to check the forces of desire and anger, and they alone are happy. So here, giving up the body means not the uh, okay. How do I okay? So if a person, okay, what does giving up the body mean is the question essentially. So uh, when we perform, mostly all our actions are body oriented. If you see, the requirement, basic requirement of the body is food, shelter, and reproduction. That is the survival based, and which is common to all the living beings. Okay, animals, humans, there is no distinction in those three requirements basically. So all the actions is oriented towards these three. These three are the goal for any action to be performed. So even the material things we acquire or we are trying to acquire, it is basically towards these three only. Either it is something which the body needs, or it is something which will elevate your I mean, you wear good clothes. It's always about these three things. So when he's saying giving up the body, I think he is telling you to give up the um, give up these basic things and look for something higher. This is not why we have come here. There is a distinction between the humans and the animals in this aspect only. Otherwise, we are not any different from all the other living beings, or say animals. We are the same. If the search is only here, uh, we have some additional capabilities. So here, when he says give up the body, giving up the body is referring to give up all this desire for the mundane things, and have the desire also which is towards the higher, looking for the higher, looking for the connecting with the divine within you. I think that is what is the reference being brought here, sir, is my understanding.
Mm. So it is like this, Padmaji. If let's say, ನಾನು ನಾನೆಂಬುದು ನಾನಲ್ಲ, ಈ ದೇಹ ಮನಬುದ್ಧಿ ನಾನಲ್ಲ, ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದ ಶಿವ ನಾನು ನಾನೇ. In that, the message is very clear that I am not the body, I am not the mind. Now, if I have
Mm,
not necessarily worked on my mind and have not yet
mm,
come to a state of the mind which is ready for this
mm,
jnana,
mm,
just by taking the jnana intellectually, I may become like Hiranyakashipu. So the body consciousness has still not gone away. Why the body consciousness has still not gone away? Because I still have a lot of desires. For what? For me and mine. So when Shri
mm,
Krishna is saying here, check the forces of desire. That is why
mm,
the first prescription before Vedanta is taught uh, to a seeker is seva.
mm,
As they get involved with seva, the mind which was bound to me and mine, what will I get out of this? That me and mine, what will I get out
mm,
of this? That tendency of the mind has to be brought down. Otherwise, the me and the mind will continue. In that, the giving up the body will not be complete. The clarity will not emerge, and it doesn't take them to the true nature. So therefore, Sri Krishna is saying one has to check the forces by getting involved with the yagna service. Once when they are into service, the mind naturally calms down. Otherwise, the mind is a function of what did I get, what will I get. for me, for me, for me. That is the tendency in the mind. Now, that tendency has to be brought down through service. Then, when the jnana is given, then it naturally is understood. Is that agreeable?
Yeah, yes, sir. That is why I took up that the next part of the question first. That uh, like, is it okay to have a desire for the liberation? I
Huh.
understand this. That's why I took up that question, because all desires are not wrong. And once you have the desire for liberation, I took it as a connecting thing. So once you have a desire for liberation, at least for me personally, I had, up until that point in my life, I had done everything that I have mentioned. Like, everything was about what I can get. Okay, now I am okay, but something is wrong with my child, then or things like that, right? So it is all about me and mine. And then at one point, when there was a darker time in my life, the question arose that, is it only about all this? Is it only about all this whole life? I mean, is it so valuable what I'm witnessing currently, or is there something more which I should look for? When that question arose, that is when I even got into, what should I do then? What should I do if there is something more? Then where can I find it, or what should I do? That is what led me to your classes, because up until then, uh, I had heard a couple of shlokas of Gita, but I never even even through our education system, nobody has taught us, like, there are so many scriptures, there are so many Upanishads. uh, None of this even comes into picture. So for me, that was the starting point. That question is what led me to, okay, what can I start with? And then when I saw the message, it was like, when you seek something, then uh, it is shown to you, it is revealed to you that, okay, maybe you can start with the Gita. That's what I thought when I saw that you are starting the class. That message connected to me somehow, and I started this journey. So uh, when I started this journey only, I even found out that why even I am performing certain action. I didn't know that all this thing which I described just now, desires only lead to action, all this also I was unaware of. You just go on doing something because somebody told you, or maybe because you think, okay, as a wife I have to do this, as a mother I have to do this. That is, there is no thought processor behind this. Why I am doing this? You are
Hmm.
just doing. So why I need to do this? Can I change what I'm doing? Even that doesn't occur up until the point that you are coming into something like this, getting into the scriptural knowledge. Only when
Okay.
I started reading the Bhagavad Gita did I even start thinking about, oh, something like this is there. It was an eye-opening thing. So, uh, so yes, that is why I mentioned this, and I completely agree with what you're saying. Yeah.
So to give up the body means?
Yeah, to give up the body is to give up these associations that are coming along with whatever I'm doing, right? For example, say if I'm eating food, the ideal situation for me is I enjoy this food, it is tasty, it doesn't matter even if it is nutritious or not, right? If I'm somebody who is very fond of sweets, I am blind to even the consequences of eating too much of it, right? I go on eating it very like a glutton. I keep feeding that desire that I want sweet, I like sweet, all this. And when you feed it, it is going to increase more. The mind gets attached to this, and uh, I know of few people who need the sweet every day. And
Mm.
similarly, I may be very fond of spicy food.
Mm.
So, or maybe fried food, or maybe junk food. So all this is giving some kind of satisfaction to that inner bliss that I am searching for.
Mm.
And because it is very temporary and it is meaningless, it never gets fulfilled, right? That if I take that the bowl of bliss, then that bowl never gets filled by all these things. That
Mm.
understanding comes only when you look into the scripture. So the desire to eat sweet was not wrong, but how much are you eating? How much desire is there? Are you keeping on feeding the desire? Is what is causing all this problem. So, desire to eat is not wrong, but what you are eating, how you are eating, how much are you eating, all these bringing even awareness to that is how is what he is talking about. When you keep a check on your desire, you train your mind, right?
Mm.
There are it is not that people who are in this satsang are not fond of something or do not have dvesha towards something, but it is about bringing a balance to it, right?
Mm.
How can I get rid of this dvesha? What is causing this dvesha? When we have thoughts like that, then the action towards that will arise. Until and unless that thought arises, we are not even becoming aware of what is wrong or what needs to change. So
Excellent.
that is when giving up the body means giving up all these things. Like we are always satisfying the bodily needs, whether it is grooming yourself, whether it is buying new clothes. So the Sri Krishna is pointing out that you don't need to do so much for the body. Yes, you need the body. Without that vehicle, nothing is possible for you, spiritual or not. Nothing is possible. So you need to protect it, you need to take certain care of it, but don't become engrossed in that one particular thing. Similarly, the mind is coloring everything what your senses are bringing in. The mind is coloring it, and it is saying, oh, you like this, you don't like this, maybe you should leave this, maybe you should get more attracted to this. So there also again, when you put a stop, say when you control your sweet, when you control your tongue, there is one signal going to your mind also, that because of the action that you are performing, that no, it's not good for you, so you have to stop this. If the mind is fond of is watching, say, movies all the time, or uh, reading only one particular kind of thing all the time, then whatever you consume, it is not just for your body. Your senses are consuming it, your mind is consuming it, your through your eyes you are consuming what you are looking, your through your ears you are consuming what you hear. So, by controlling the mind, you are also controlling what you are getting in through these senses. It can be done. I can make a conscious choice to not say. Nowadays there are a lot of podcasts. I don't know. I have even heard of a murder podcast.
Mm.
So there are people who are listening to it continuously while working. I heard from someone. So I'm thinking, why do you need to keep on feeding your ears with
Mm.
such a thing?
Mm.
And there is also something like, when you pray to a ishta devata, they say after many years of continuously praying to that ishta devata, you acquire the qualities of it, like just like that brahmara nyayakita, right? You keep on thinking about that, you will slowly start becoming that. So you have to be very mindful of what you are seeing, what you are hearing, what is it that I am consuming. So when you have when you think of those things, and when you go by that nanenbadu nanalla, you are able to connect, right? I am not this superficial changing body, I am not this changing ever changing mind, and I am not this intellect which is making decisions on based on all these inputs that it is getting and conditionings that are already there. I am beyond all this. So when I have that understanding, then it is easier for me, and there is also a logical reason for me to why I have to control all this.
Mm.
Otherwise, just because somebody says or you read somewhere, it is not easy to control.
Excellent.
It is not easy to put a stop to what your mind wants or what your desires are. So when you have this sound understanding of, okay, this is not only impacting my day to day and physical body, it is transcending beyond the physical body. It is going to the subtlest of subtlest, and I am building up on whatever I've accumulated from many janmas. I'm adding more and more to it rather than, reducing it or clearing that, diluting it. I'm making it more strong. So that understanding, when it is there, then it is easy, even for, not easy, but at least you have that desire now to control this mind, control the senses. Even if the desire arises, you are able to watch it and let it pass. Doesn't mean that desire is not going to arise. It will arise, but it is at least allowing, you can watch it, you aware of it, and you can let it pass by, see for a while. Then of course, that is the thoughts are so many, so it is substituted by some other thought. Okay, this guy is not giving value to this, let me try something else, something like that, and it will pass away. So as you do that, slowly that thought will surface less and less, is what is my experience. Yeah.
Very nice, Padmaji. Does anyone have any question for Padmaji based on the three questions that she has contemplated? Anything that you would like to ask and clarify? Yes, Shilpaji.
No, no, it was very nicely put with the examples by Padmaji. Thank you.
Thank you, Ji.
Wonderful. Then can I request Padma Amma to contemplate on the maybe the next three questions? The ignorant are also happy. How to know that I'm delighted with the God within? What is inner light?
Ignorant, the one who does not know their true nature. ಅಂದರೆ ಅಜ್ಞಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಾಗ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಯಾರು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರುವಂತಹ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ, ಅವನು ಸಹ ಸಂತೋಷವಾಗಿರ್ತಾನೆ. ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಆತ್ಮ ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ಕಾರ ಪಡ್ಕೊಂಡವರೇ ಸಂತೋಷವಾಗಿರ್ತಾರಾ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಈ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತಹದ್ದು. ಹೌದು, ಇಗ್ನರೆಂಟ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಯಾರು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರುವಂತಹವರು, ಈ ನಾನು ದೇಹ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋರು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾಗುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಪೂರ್ಣತೆಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂತಹ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮಾತನ್ನ ಸೇರಿಸ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ ನಾನು ಮನಸ್ಸು ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಮತ್ತು ದೇಹ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವೋ ಆಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪರಿಪೂರ್ಣತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಪೂರ್ಣತೆಯನ್ನು ಹೊಂದೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಹೊರಗಿನ ವಿಷಯ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಸೆಳೆತ ಉಂಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅವುಗಳನ್ನು ಹೊಂದೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಾನು ಪೂರ್ಣನಾಗ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅವುಗಳನ್ನ ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಆಗ ಸಂತೋಷ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ತಾತ್ಕಾಲಿಕವಾಗಿ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಆ ಕ್ಷಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಕಾಲ ಕಳೆದ ಹಾಗೆ ಅವುಗಳು ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಹೊಂದುತ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಹೊರಗಿನ ಪ್ರಪಂಚದಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ವಸ್ತುಗಳು ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಹೊಂದುವಂತಹದ್ದೇ. ಇವನಲ್ಲೂ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಹೊಂದುತ್ತೆ, ಹೊರಗಿನ ವಸ್ತುಗಳಲ್ಲೂ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಹೊಂದುತ್ತೆ. ಆಗ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲೇನು ಸರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಪೂರ್ತಿಯಾಗಿ ನನಗೆ ಸಂತೋಷವನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದನ್ನು ಪಡೆಯಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಅವನ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹೀಗೆ ಅವನು ಪಡೆಯೋದು, ಕರ್ಮ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಪಡೆಯೋದು, ಈ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸಂತೋಷವನ್ನ ಪಡಿತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಅದರ ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊರಗಿನ ವಸ್ತುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಸಂತೋಷ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೋ ನನಗೆ ತಪ್ಪು ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಈಸ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಅಪ್ ದಿ ಬಾಡಿ ಎ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಫರಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಅಪ್ ದಿ ಬಾಡಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಿದ ಹಾಗೇನೆ, ಬಾಡಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆತ್ಮ ಅನಾತ್ಮವನ್ನ ವಿಂಗಡಿಸಿ ಆವಾಗ ನಾನು ಯಾರು ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಈ ಯಾವ ಒಂದು ದೇಹ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅದು ಅನಾತ್ಮ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕು. ಈ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಬುದ್ಧಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕು. ಬುದ್ಧಿಯಲ್ಲೇ ಯಾವುದು ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ, ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಅದು ಇಂದ್ರಿಯ ಗೋಚರವಾಗುವಂತಹದ್ದನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ಅದು ಗ್ರಹಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅದು ನಾನು ದೇಹ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಂದ್ರಿಯ ಗೋಚರವಲ್ಲದಂತಹ ಆತ್ಮನಿಂದಲೇ ನನಗೆ ಚೈತನ್ಯ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಸಹ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೇನಿದ್ರು ಗುರುಮುಖೇನ ಆ ಒಂದು ಟೀಚಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಬರಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಈ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಗಳಿಂದ ಬರಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಆಗ ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ ಬುದ್ಧಿಗೆ ಈ ಅಹಂಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಎರಡಕ್ಕೂ ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ ಉಂಟಾಗಿ ಈ ಆತ್ಮ ಅನಾತ್ಮ ವಿಂಗಡೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಹೌದು ಅದು ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಈ ಆತ್ಮ ನಿಜವಾದ ನಾನು ಅನ್ನುವ ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆಗೆ ನಿಂತುಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಅದು ಈ ದೇಹ ನಾನಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನೋದೇ ಈ ದೇಹವನ್ನ ಬಿಡೋದು ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಸಾಯೋದು ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ ಅಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್
ಹೌ ಟು ನೋ ದಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಡಿಲೈಟೆಡ್ ವಿತ್ ಗಾಡ್ ವಿತಿನ್.
ಹಾ, ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇದೇ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್. ಆ ಒಂದು ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದನೇ ನನಗೆ ಹೀಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸಂತೋಷ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಷಣ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದೇನೆ ಬಂಧನಕ್ಕೂ ಕಾರಣವಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ ನಾನು ಅಜ್ಞಾನದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾಗ ಈ ಹೊರಗಿನ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನ ಪಡೆದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವುಗಳನ್ನ ಸಂತೋಷ ಆಯಿತು, ಆದರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಹಾಗೆ ನಾನು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಒಂದು ಹೋರಾಟ, ಆ ಭಯ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನಿಂದ ಅದು ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಕಸಿದ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ನೋ ಭಯ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಕಾಮ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕ್ರೋಧ ಭಯ ಈ ಮೂರನ್ನು ಯಾತಕ್ಕೆ ಒತ್ತಿ 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 ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅವು ಮೂರುಗಳಿಂದಲೇ ನಮಗೆ ಬಂಧನ ಉಂಟಾಗುವಂತಹದ್ದು. ಅವುಗಳು ಹೇಳ್ದಾಗೆ ಕಾಮ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಹೊರಗಿನ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನ ಪಡಿಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು, ಅಪೂರ್ಣತ್ವವನ್ನ ಪಡೆಯೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ. ಅದನ್ನ ನನ್ನದಾಗಿಯೇ ಇರಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಹೇಳ್ದ ಹಾಗೆ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಹೊಂದುತ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ತಕ್ಷಣಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಅದನ್ನ ಕಸಿದ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದನ್ನ ಕಾಪಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಆದ್ರೂ ಅದು ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಬದಲಾಗುವ ವಸ್ತು ಬದಲಾಗಿ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅಡಚಣೆ ಉಂಟಾದಾಗ ಕ್ರೋಧ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಈ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಬಹಳ ವಿಚಲಿತವಾಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಈ ಒಂದು ಅರಿಷಡ್ ವರ್ಗಗಳು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಗ್ರಹವಾಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆದರೆ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಬಂದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇದು ಈ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಅದು ನಿಜವಾದ ಒಂದು ಸಂತೋಷ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನನ್ನಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ನಾನು ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದ ಸ್ವರೂಪಿ. ಆ ಕ್ಷಣ ಮಾತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಆದಂಥ ಸಂತೋಷವೂ ಸಹ ನನ್ನಿಂದಲೇ ಹೊರಹೊಮ್ಮಿರುವಂತಹದ್ದು ಹೊರತು ಈ ವಿಷಯ ವಸ್ತುಗಳಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಈ ವಿಷಯ ವಸ್ತುಗಳಿಂದಲೇ ಆಗಿದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಸದಾ ಕಾಲವೂ ಇರಬೇಕಾಗಿರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಆದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅದ್ರ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಯಾವುದು ಹೊಂದುತ್ತೋ ಅದು ಸತ್ಯ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಿಥ್ಯವೇ ಅನ್ನುವ ಒಂದು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನಲ್ಲಿಯೇ ಇರುವಂತಹದ್ದು ನಾನೇ ಆ ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದ ಸ್ವರೂಪಿ, ಆ ಪರಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಸ್ವರೂಪಿ ನಾನೇ ಅಂತ ಅವನು ಹೀಗೆ ವಿಂಗಡಣೆಯನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಈ ನಾಮರೂಪಗಳಿಗೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೊರತಾಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಸತ್ಯ ವಸ್ತುವಿನಲ್ಲೇ ನೆಲೆ ನಿಂತಿರ್ತಾನೆ. ಆಗ ಅವನು ಸಂತೋಷವನ್ನ ಪರಮಾನಂದವನ್ನ ಪಡಿತಾನೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನನ್ನ ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ನರ್ ಲೈಟ್, ವಾಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಯೂಮಿಡ್ ಬೈ ಇನ್ನರ್ ಲೈಟ್. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ನರ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಆ ಆತ್ಮ ಅನ್ನೋದೇ ಒಳಗಿನ ಚೈತನ್ಯ ಶಕ್ತಿ. ಅದರಿಂದಲೇ ಬೇರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಈ ಬುದ್ಧಿ, ಮನಸ್ಸು ಮತ್ತು ದೇಹ ಚೈತನ್ಯವನ್ನು ಪಡೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂತಹದ್ದು. ಹೇಗೆ ಸೂರ್ಯ ಚಂದ್ರನಿಗೆ ಬೆಳಕನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೋ, ಸೂರ್ಯ ಸ್ವಯಂ ಪ್ರಕಾಶ, ಮತ್ತು ಚಂದ್ರ ಅದರಿಂದ ಎರವಲು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡಿರುವಂತಹದ್ದು. ಅದರಿಂದ ಭೂಮಿಯಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ವರು ಬೆಳಕನ್ನು ರಾತ್ರಿ ಹೊತ್ತಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳಕನ್ನು ಪಡೆಯೋದು. ಆ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆತ್ಮನ ಬೆಳಕು ಬುದ್ಧಿಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಿದ್ದಾಗ ಅದು ಪ್ರತಿಫಲನವಾಗಿ, ಅದು ಚೈತನ್ಯದಾಯಕವಾಗಿ ಇಡೀ ಒಂದು ಈ ಜೀವಿಯ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನು ನಡೆಸುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಬುದ್ಧಿಯ ಮನಸ್ಸಿಗೂ ಚೈತನ್ಯವನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟು, ಮತ್ತೆ ದೇಹಕ್ಕೂ ಚೈತನ್ಯವನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟು, ಇಂದ್ರಿಯಗಳಿಗೂ ಚೈತನ್ಯವನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆಗಳು ನಡೀತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಈ ಅನಾತ್ಮಗಳೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಈ ಆತ್ಮನ ಬೆಳಕಿನಿಂದಲೇ ಚೈತನ್ಯವನ್ನು ಪಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನನ್ನ ಒಂದು ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ. ಹೌ ಡು ಐ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ದಿ ಬ್ರೈಟ್ನೆಸ್? ಯಾತಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅದು ಮಂಕಾಗಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ಈ ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇಲ್ಲದೇ ಇದ್ದಾಗ, ಪೂರ್ತಿಯಾಗಿ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲ್ಮಶಗಳು ಅತಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದಾಗ, ನಿಜವಾದ ನಾನು ಯಾರು ಅನ್ನೋದು ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರುವಾಗ ಆ ಆತ್ಮನ ಬೆಳಕು ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ಹರಿಯಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವಾಗ ನಾನು ಯಾರು ಅನ್ನುವ ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಥ ಗೊತ್ತಾದಾಗ, ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲ್ಮಶಗಳು ಹೋದಾಗಲೇ ಆ ಅರಿವಿನ ಬೆಳಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಹರಿಯೋದು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮನಸ್ಸನ್ನು ಶುದ್ಧಿಪಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಚಿತ್ತಶುದ್ಧಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅಗತ್ಯ ಇದೆ. ಚಿತ್ತಶುದ್ಧಿಯನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ನೀನು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಸಹ ಶ್ರೀಕೃಷ್ಣ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಕರ್ಮಯೋಗದ ಮುಖಾಂತರ, ಧ್ಯಾನ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ, ಭಕ್ತಿಯೋಗದ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಚಿತ್ತಶುದ್ಧಿಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪೂರ್ತಿಯಾಗಿ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಶುದ್ಧವಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಶುದ್ಧವಾದ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಪ್ರತಿಫಲನವೂ ಸಹ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ತಿಳಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಅದ್ಭುತ ಅಮ್ಮ, ಬಹಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ. ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇದೆಯಾ ಪದ್ಮಮ್ಮ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದನ್ನ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು, ಅಥವಾ ಏನಾದ್ರು
No,
ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ?
sir. I feel, I mean, she described it so beautifully.
Very nice. Okay. Then, Rajita ji, would you like to take up the next question? What is the relationship between BMI and material existence?
Vijay ji. So, as Padma madam and Padma amma covered, the body, mind, and intellect. So, as Padma ji said now, once you realize that you are an Atman, then this body also becomes as a material for you. So, and once the clarity is established in the intellect, that once the so for the body, it is made up of all the panchabhutas, that is air, water, then all the elements, vacuum, all the elements. So we have to know that what is the changing reality and what is the unchanging reality. And the happiness comes, sadness comes, so the mind is also a changing reality. And similarly, the intellect also is a changing reality. And the material existence, as we are aware that existence means sat. So the sat is always there, existence is always there, but the material existence, it with respect to unchanging reality, that is with respect to Atma, with respect to the soul, all the others are changing. So when there are some conditions that Padma Amma already defined, she has already mentioned that if the mind is pure and if you have the clarity in the intellect, and but with the help of the body, you have to realize that ನಾನು ನಾನೆಂಬುದು ನಾನಲ್ಲ, ಈ ದೇಹ ಮನ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ನಾನಲ್ಲ, ಸತ್ ಚಿತ್ ಆನಂದ ಶಿವ ನಾನು ನಾನೇ. So when you realize that, we can overcome all the suffering, that is adi daivika, adi bhautika, and adhyatmika. So the relationship between these BMI and material existence matters a lot.
According to you, when you
I
say
need
material existence, what are you referring to as material existence?
material existence in the sense the prapancha, the jagat world. Because you have a mountain existence, and you have a house object, and similarly you have this I have this body, mind, and intellect. But when I see the duality, I feel I am separate from the material existence.
When there is body consciousness, you think you are only the body, so therefore the world becomes separate from you.
Yes, the duality, dvandva.
Is world
So,
separate from you?
Yes, when I am body consciousness, and when my mind is full of impurities, and when I have a baggage of desires, of attachment to the worldly desires, worldly affairs, then my intellect will not be sharpened. That is bound to the worldly nature, and it is attached. So I feel miserable. I feel suffering. I'm suffering because of this. So if some changes happens in my body, I may not be able to accept it because of my wrong understanding. But where did that wrong understanding came from? It came from the chitta and the memory, the antakarana. So whatever memories I had in the past, so that popped up. And when I, for example, simple example, if I take, when I look at my 8-year-old photo, Rajita at 8-year-old, and Rajita now currently, how many of us feel miserable, or how many am I able to accept the change that the body of this Rajita has undergone? And after, I will try to imagine after 20 years how my body changes will be there. And then if I am okay with it, then if I'm not attached to that body, then it is very easy for me to become one with the material become one with all other existing objects. So when I feel that oneness, I don't have any kind of suffering. So am I able to differentiate, or when I look at that photograph, 8-year-old Rajita and 40-year-old Rajita, so what is the state of my mind? What is this? What comes to my mind? So that is how I can explain how much Rajita is suffering from the previous attachment, or how much she has the anxiety of thinking of the next 20 years, how she will look. So all these are due to ajnana, the avidya, which is there in the intellect, which is there in the antahkarana as a memory, chitta, which is there in the chitta. So with the wisdom, with Guru's blessings, and with the wisdom of Bhagavad Gita or all the scriptures, I can burn all the because I don't know how much impurity, how much baggage I carry from my past life or from my previous years. So with that knowledge, I can it will be easy for me to give up the body and observe, become witness to all the changes, and the suffering will be reduced, and that is how I get liberated. The liberation, the way becomes very easy for me for the liberation.
Very nice. Very nice. Does anyone have any question to Rajita ji? Anything to ask or add? Wonderful. Can Krishna ji take up the last question?
Yeah. What can I see? So the sin, the giving sins and doubts and mind is disciplined, or like so it means like I think it already people explained beautifully. So it is the understanding of oneself, and what body is, and how body, and what mind is. So once we know that, so sins are purged is like the understanding of we are not this body and mind. So understanding, and also putting it in an action and doing karma yoga, so that itself is sins are purged. So we are nowhere like acting with only the selfishness motive and the greed or desire, which is purely with this body and senses based. Instead, it will be aligned with the entireness, other universe, I mean the consciousness. So that's why like we have to do karma yoga. So once we do that, so that's why Sri Krishna is saying here, so sins are so we are nowhere acting for oneself, and there is a clarity which is there, and even the mind get disciplined over the practice. Once we get this jnana, like who we are truly and how one should act, so these are like clarified, and uh, I think it is not a day one, but I would say it's on the every action we perform. So gradually the vasana still will pull, or like drag towards this temporary materialistic pleasures. But once we perform karma yoga, so our mind also get disciplined. So yeah, so I think, how do I measure this? So measurement is like how we are in all situations, how are we acting, and how is our body and mind is responding to each situation, and irrespective of it is in family or in your work or in your society, when you gather out somewhere, how my body and mind is reacting to this situation versus earlier, right? So that's how one can measure. So when you are being in peaceful state, though we are getting I mean insulted again, if one is getting insulted, we don't want to like, okay, fine, this is how you are, and we don't want to be in that state always, though. So what I mean by like uh, uh, disciplined mind and sins are purged here, like, so we would take action, but the action would be not selfish. So it will be towards in line with consciousness. So yeah, so measurement is always coming back. The measurement is how we are in blissful state in given the situations, in number of situations. That's the only way I think we can measure. So yeah, I think I covered those.
Okay.
That these are my understanding.
So to the question, how can I see these four conditions in action? I need some reference, right? What is
So
who is my reference?
So reference is same, right? So now the reference is us only, like how did I face particular situation before, and how I am experiencing now the same or the similar situation. How how is my, whether I'm getting anger or whether it's leading to my again desire to the next materialistic things. So like desire already described. So we should have a desire, but it should be alignment with the consciousness, like, and it should not be selfish desire, which will be causing directly or indirectly harm to the oneness. So
Yeah.
so that's how I'm seeing that.
Yeah. At a first level, Krishna, that's why he gives reference of a jnani or a sthita prajna, so
Yeah.
that you and I learn by seeing. That is the first reference. Then ultimately the reference is what you are saying, which is internal. How did I face? What was the outcome internally? And how am I facing? And what is the outcome? Am I feeling peaceful, disturbed? So it comes to inward. But the jnani or the sthita prajna acts as a reference point in giving us a role model. In
Yeah.
life,
Okay.
you and I need role models. So that is how that works.
Yeah. Obviously, gurus and jnanis. Yeah.
Very nice, Krishnaji. Does
Thank you.
anyone have any questions for Krishnaji or anything to add? Shilpaji, is there anything more you would like to add here?
No, Vijayji. Everything, whatever I was thinking, I mean, everything is clear for me, and I don't have anything extra to add.
Very nice. Very nice. Does anyone else have any other points? Okay. Then let us end our today's session. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanastu.